What up, everybody? Beacon here from Malice Corp. You are live with us for MaliceCast episode 19. I am your host today. Mest is away off enjoying the fruits of free concert tickets. So, that's how much he loves you guys. But I love you. I'm here all the time. So we're going to kick this thing off. I'm going to introduce who is with me tonight, and then we're just going to jump right in. We're going to talk some nerd news for the week, which mostly is about trailers. We'll talk about the current nerd fight, which we've decided to continue for another week. So lots of news about trailers. So if you've been watching the trailers that have come out from San Diego Comic-Con, chime off in the chat room. We'll come back to you here in just a moment, but let's go ahead and introduce the cast. So co-hosting with me tonight, the forever faithful. She is on like every single thing that we ever put out.
I don't know if that's good or if that means I have no life.
Well, since I'm on just about everything too, I guess neither one of us have lives.
Yeah. That I just do my life work during the day and then I free up my evenings to do this.
There you go. With us as well, you probably saw him last night on our Game of Thrones cast, is Mr. Icy Zorro.
Hi there, guys. How you doing?
Good to have you as well. You've been popping up more and more on the channel, so you're becoming that familiar face.
Great.
And we don't have the epic beard here tonight either. Big Papa Matt is not here tonight as well, so we got the boy band chin strap. But welcome. And is with us as well is Igor.
Ain't no lie, baby.
Ain't no lie. Drinking some, what was the mix tonight? What's the coffee mix? Arabica
and Kona. Not bad.
Yeah.
Kona's better by itself, as it turns out.
Nobody drinks coffee at, what time is it your time? 10 p.m.?
11
p.m. on the East Coast, other than Igor. And the Night's Watch. There you go. I love coffee. Very nice, very nice. And of course, with us producing the show is Mr. Jack Malice. So that takes care of that. Who do we have in our chat channel so far?
Do not look at the man behind the curtain.
Oh no! It's the Wizard of Oz.
We've definitely got Mest.
Oh,
the
Mest.
Chat channel.
So
and Marley Ba.
Oh, okay. So I see. So Mest can join us in the chat channel.
Yes.
But God forbid. God forbid. Yeah, thank you. Marley Ba is in the chat as well. Woot. Good to have you. So we got some viewers right now. Definitely happy to have you. We got 6 people watching. Let's talk about first, what are we watching? What are we playing? Let's play that little game. What are you nerding out on this week? And I'm going to start with Mr. Ian.
Well, mine's not current.
That's okay.
Super Hoovian is well aware. I've been on an epic binge of all 12 seasons of Supernatural. I'd never seen it before, about a month and a half ago. I'm about halfway through season 12 at this point. So now I'm finally getting all her references.
Good golly.
I know.
That's an epic journey right there, because it's 263 episodes or something like that to get caught up.
Insanity is what it is.
It's funny at first watching the cell phones evolve episode to episode.
I know they do. Yeah, they go from the flip phones up to the smartphones, and then they've got ghosts in the phones. And
did you start with the Motorola Razr, and now you're finally?
Exactly.
I think the biggest evolution was when they literally had a ghost haunting the internet. In one of their episodes, he was jumping around from internet portal to internet portal through the cable wires and the Wi-Fi. and Dean was just, all he wanted to do, he's like, can we kill the internet? And he's like, no, you can't kill the internet. Just
it's its own sentient being.
Yeah.
Other than that, this is not particularly nerdy, but Suits is back, Big Brother's back. Summertime fun shows.
Good.
Game of Thrones, of course.
Of course. Have you been watching Preacher as well?
Yes. On the Preacher after show earlier.
That's right. So good. So yeah, we do have a few good summer shows out there. Not a lot, but there are a few.
I'm gonna wait to binge Fear the Walking Dead until the season's over.
Good call. Good call. That's a lot of zombies all in one shot. But hey,
too many shows going on at once.
Yeah, too much fun. Super Hooving Freak, what have you been nerding out on this week?
You know what? I'm actually about to start Riverdale. I'm going to start that after the podcast tonight. But I was watching just old episodes of Blue Bloods. They just put the newest season out on Netflix, so I was catching up on, I don't even know what season it is, season 7, I want to say. It's a really good show, though, for a cop drama, but I think it's one of the better ones that is out there.
Very nice. Marley Boss says she's rewatching One Punch Man, reading Odd Thomas, and playing Dungeon Defenders. Oh, and rereading the Dresden Files. So,
ooh, I redid that recently.
Whew. It's all really, really good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Igor, what are you nerding out on? I know Destiny 2 has been coming up a little bit. Talk to us about that.
Oh, man. For one thing, golly gosh, seems like so many people on PlayStation and the internet don't freaking read. Because there were so many complaints of like, oh, this doesn't do enough damage, or oh, I don't get this enough. And 2 days after the beta had started, Bungie said, hey, we're really excited to have you guys playing. Thanks for being in there. You're not playing a current version of the game. This is several months old. So,
yeah.
But in all, it remains, Destiny is really good for really, really crisp, really snappy gameplay. Most telling was when a buddy of mine said, I hate you, Bungie. I hate you because you've made me hate Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 feels slow now. And it's maybe a little slower now, Destiny that is, in Destiny 2. Maybe. But it looks like we're getting even more gorgeous skyboxes, which Bungie's great with, Halo, to begin with. And like we're actually getting a full-on, pretty cool story. Partially, all of this game, of course, partially designed by our buddy Chris Pacetto.
Yes, shout out to him. Now,
and
I heard
big space opera.
I heard most of the gameplay just translated, like they kept a lot of the same gameplay settings, so you get that great controls that Destiny is, which I mean, many will argue is the best first-person shooter as far as controls go, the smoothest. But you also get that great backdrop of these amazing worlds. And so far so good from what I'm hearing as well, that now you different from the original Destiny beta, you don't level up though, you just drop in and you're this well-powered
traditional beta
machine. Okay.
This was a traditional beta. The original one had like a quarter of the game in it. Like a quarter of the final game. This one was okay, here are 2 PvP modes. Here is one co-op mission. And here is 1 hour worth of the social space. That's it. You're done.
Gotcha. Have fun. Very cool. Anything else you're watching right now or reading or?
Thanks to YouTube, I'm finding that that Discovery Channel is actually being educational again. Brave Wilderness is amazing. If you ever wanted to see Bill Nye the Science Guy meet Steve Irwin, you have a pretty good resource in Coyote Peterson.
Nice.
He's a beautiful man who is probably going to get his hand chewed off at some point.
As all the greats do. I mean, let's be honest.
Scientists on TV.
Some animals got to get them. Beth joined us in the chat channel.
Hello, Beth.
Good evening to you, Beth. She says Atomic Blonde. I don't know.
Just
the ancient.
I'm assuming she saw it today. I think she saw it today, Atomic Blonde. I don't know what she means by the ancient magus, though.
You'll tell us more. Tell us more.
Twitch is marathoning Crunchyroll. I don't know what that means either. Does that mean it's marathoning people eating Crunchyrolls?
I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry.
Crunchyroll's the anime service, but other than that, I don't know what that has to do with Brezzy in China.
I see Jack Malice's face. So Jack, what are you nerding out on?
Me?
Oh god, he's got opinions.
You're actually asking me what I'm doing for once?
Yeah.
Lately, I've been hanging out with the guys down Sky High a lot. Been doing a lot of prepping for the Blood Bowl League that we're hoping to put together. Hanging out with those guys and hanging out at Battle Mage a lot. Drinking a lot of their fine nectars.
Dude.
Nectar of the gods.
You got to get down there because it was good.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the two best ones they wouldn't let you take home.
They have a bourbon aged barrel bourbon aged nut brown mixed with a
good
chocolate milk stout or whatever the heck it is, and they only did a 5-gallon barrel. So
yeah, you were telling me about that, and it was making me very, very thirsty. But
Goblin King, they're calling it Goblin King.
Yeah,
so nice.
It was so good. So good.
But hopefully this next week I get to take my orcs against team in a nice Blood Bowl match. So we'll see how that works out.
Good deal.
See, I feel like if you take orcs out, you should be drinking whiskey.
No.
Whiskey.
Anyway, have fun, guys.
Drinking's bad, kids. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Alcohol production. Wait until you're correct age, and then drinking's great.
Right, as long as you are calling that Uber when you're done. Okay. There are two things you don't do while driving. You don't text while drive. You don't drink while drive. That's my nerd. There's my nerd rage for the week. Don't freaking text and drive, people. Seriously. Like, seriously. Please stop.
You want to know what else you don't do? Don't drink and drive, and don't live stream when you get in an accident because you're drinking and driving. That's just the type of madness. Like, come on. Oh man.
Well, I've been super, super busy when it comes to the nerding out scene. So I'm now on season 6, episode 3 of Game of Thrones. So that's 63 episodes in about
2.5 weeks.
Less than that, like 11 days.
Man.
Yeah, in like 10 or 11 days.
A lot of bloodshed and carnage.
So much blood. And I've also I jumped into the book, so I'm on chapter 53 of Fire and Ice. So,
do you even bother trying to like characters anymore after watching the episodes that quick?
No. Yeah, probably. And getting it all in that compressed amount of time. One, it makes you appreciate certain characters. There are certain ones that I'm like, God, like, thank you for not killing this character. And there's some obviously you can tell that are going to last quite a while.
Like who? We'll tell you.
Like Danny, for example. Like,
I had like 3 episodes ago.
No.
Um,
Like Brand. There's a couple that you can just tell are going to last the test time. And then there's some that you're like, I wish you would die, but you know that they're not going to. So anyway, what I appreciate about it though is that nobody gets happy endings, and you learn that pretty quick when you're
not yet anyways.
Chunk.
Yeah.
No, what I found out is that Oberon was the closest person to getting everything he wanted, and he was like that close until the mountain squished his head into.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
That's probably the kill of the series so far. But that's the closest you get to getting everything you want in Westeros. So
yeah, maybe. Sansa could be on her way. Because she got some pretty sweet. Oh, I'm not. No spoilers. I'm just saying, like, she could be on that path too.
Well, that's after losing everything. Then maybe you get something back.
Exactly.
I have a feeling that Arya might get everything she wants too at some point. Anyway. Game of Thrones. I've been playing the usual Rocket League. I've been playing some more. I actually played a little bit of Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor and actually progressed in the story. So that's something new. What else? That's probably.
If you don't already know how that story ends, nobody tell him.
Oh, I guess so. In the last 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks as well, I caught up on Into the Badlands, so another great AMC show. If nobody's watched that yet, watched 2 seasons worth of that. So yeah, been watching a lot of TV, if you can't tell. Yeah. So anything else from the chat channel? What are people doing? What are they watching? What are they really nerding out on in the chat?
Beth was explaining the Crunchyroll thing about how it was an anime that's debuting in October, and they got to see the debut of it, the movie. So I guess it's going to be a series, and but they have like a little movie about it as well. So that's what Crunchyroll is.
Ooh.
Very
What's the movie?
Well, she didn't say what it was about, so she can explain that if she wants to. But she just said it's a new anime that's debuting, and we went to the movie debut of it last night. So hopefully it's something cool.
Definitely. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about our current nerd fight. So we started this nerd fight last week, talking about what's the best Comic-Con fandom from Comic-Con 2017. And we're going to go in and just continue that for another week. One is due to some editing errors on our part, where we left off a fandom, which was Game of Thrones, which we've been talking about for the last couple of minutes. So
Yeah.
we wanted to get that back on there, but it's been really picking up steam, and it seems like we get towards Friday and people are finally kind of jumping into the fight. And so we did want to continue this for another week. And hey, maybe we'll continue down this road of letting it run for 2 weeks, because it seems like we're at the end of the fight, and we're finally getting some more votes going in. So I'm going to read down
Action.
Action. So I'm going to talk about where we're at currently in the poll, and then if anybody wants to jump in and talk about these picks and kind of what they think so far. Leading the way is Supernatural with 39 votes. It jumped out to a huge lead, as we expected, from Super Whovian's horde of Supernatural fans. Quickly, though, catching up is Marvel at 30 votes. Next, we have DC is half that with 15 votes. We have Doctor Who with 13 votes. And then we weirdly enough have Skybound, Disney, and Game of Thrones all with 1 vote. So it seems like everybody's kind of gravitating towards those top 4 picks.
Although Game of Thrones has only been on there for
Yes.
like
1 day or so.
Yeah.
Recency bias. Like Supernatural.
Yeah.
I voted for it a couple of times.
Yeah, I was gonna say I expected you to. It's kind of on your mind, which I'm going to be voting for Game of Thrones because it's on my mind.
I think Skybound might be suffering from name recognition, because I know a lot more people who read Image Comics know Skybound, but I think a lot less people who watch The Walking Dead know the name Skybound.
Yeah, we should almost put in parentheses The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I did put it in the article, that it was primarily known for The Walking Dead, but I don't know if it's catching on, because I definitely didn't when they said Skybound last week. I was just like, yeah, sure, so.
Yeah, so that's your nerd fight. What do we think about? I think Mest was on it with Reddit and with Twitter this week of really trying to push Marvel and getting the Marvel fans to recognize that they need to get out and vote. I think that was key to his.
Yeah, he was very active on Reddit. I've been mostly active on Facebook and Twitter. I should probably go hit up Reddit and see how that goes.
Interesting.
But
be interesting to find out if people, if people want us to go for the extra 2 weeks, because I've been getting a lot of nasty grams and whatnot. People discovering the polls after they've ended, going, "Why is this over? Why is this over? I want to vote."
I know, right?
Hey, why don't we throw up a card right now? And if you're watching this video at the top, it should be right there. You're going to see a little button. And why don't you go ahead and give us a little vote? Do you want to see the Nerd Fight extended longer than a week?
I've gotten somebody finally retweeted. I, hit up a bunch of people on Twitter weekly, and somebody finally retweeted a poll from April. So that was awesome. I was like, hey, you're only, I don't know, maybe 3 months too late, but awesome.
It's like a century ago in internet time.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you, though.
So I have a feeling that was not a very active account.
Hold on, what was that, Jack?
Said the card has been added, so it should show up for people in the next few minutes, or they can always refresh it to get it now, but it'll show up here in a few.
Yeah, so just
Nice.
right there, just hit that little info button for the card, and you can vote. Let us know what you think. Even if you're watching this after the fact, you can still vote. So definitely
See, that'll be the way. That'll be the way we can tell if it's a majority of y'all who want to see these things extended longer. Because I mean, my God, we've got Game of Thrones, we've got Marvel Comics,
Doctor Who,
and Supernatural in there. I hate to say it as a longtime Whovian myself, but I think those three are mud stomping Doctor Who at this point. And DC, poor DC, still has a lot of faith to restore after Batman v Superman and Man of Steel.
Oh man, I mean, Wonder Woman has gone a long way, but I think if JLA picks up on where Wonder Woman left off, I think it'll be better. It'll be a lot better.
From the looks of, we can switch over and go this route if we wanted to. This kind of plays right into what the main topic of tonight is, which is all about trailers. It's all about what are we anticipating for 2017. So we've had Comic-Con. We had all these trailers that have finally been released to the public and all this news. So what are we most anticipating for the rest of the year? And you just hit on one of them, JLA, of course.
Oh, so waiting for it. The trailer looked awesome. The second trailer looked even better than the first one. Because remember the first one we were all trashing Cyborg? I think he looked a lot better in this trailer. I don't know if it was just the way that they shot in the first one or what, but he didn't look like fake Mechano Man, And so he actually looked like an actual character that belonged in this movie. And the Flash looks awesome, and I think it's going to be really good.
I see.
Well, you just named the episode just now because I just named it Trailer Talk.
Trailer Talk, yeah. Trailer Trash. I mean,
Trailer Trash Talk. There we go.
I see that Marley Ba and Beth are having a conversation about a book, The Forgotten Beasts of Eld. It's a Patricia McKillop book. To which Beth is going to Amazon it. So if you like anything that we're talking about, you can go to Amazon. You can actually go right through our link on malice-corp.com. We have a link for trying out Amazon Prime. You can do that. It's free to try out for 30 days. It gives you things like free 2-day shipping, as well as just a boatload of videos, streams, audio streams, all that kind of stuff that you get along with Prime.
Have Amazon Prime at this point?
Oh, I do. I absolutely. It's worth every penny because of how much I buy stuff from Amazon to get that free 2-day shipping. And if you're a student, go ahead.
I was actually going to say something kind of connected to what you're probably going to say is don't forget, especially when it's books, Amazon started life as a conglomeration of used bookstores. Mm-hmm. So they're still really good at pretty much any dang book you want to find.
Back in the aughts.
Yeah, and if you're a student, so if you have anybody has a .edu account, you can actually click through our link to sign up for Amazon Prime. And if you're a student, you actually get it 50% off. So
nice.
Plus, I believe you get it
even better. I was talking to one of my coworkers today. He was asking me about an audiobook I was listening to in my office, and I was telling him about Audible. We were talking about it. You could sign up through Audible through Malice Corp.
Mm-hmm.
Books for free. Well, he went over there and checked it out and went through Malice Corp to do it. They have another promotion that's going on. Not only do you get the 2 books for free, you get 40% off your first 6 months.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
And that's an awesome value because the normal monthly charge for Audible is $15 a month, and with that $15, you get a book every month. So getting 40% off that is a pretty big deal because you're talking about paying $9.99 a month.
$8.95.
Oh, there you go, $8.95 a month, and that $8.95 gives you a free book, and by that you get a credit for a book, so you can buy any book with that one credit. So, like when I first started off, I went through and bought all the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, which are all $35+ books. So, you can get amazing values on that.
Yeah.
Now my library is so full, I just pay it's like $10 a year just to have an open account with all the discounts and all that stuff, and I try to catch up on all the books I've already bought. So,
although I have a forgotten beast here who looks like he's about to get really upset if I don't let him out. I beg your pardon for a moment.
Please tell me you're talking about a pet.
Yeah. It's the barking dog.
Mute, you better mute. Call on some dinosaurs. Anybody get that reference? No? Okay.
No.
Moving along, man. So JLA obviously looks amazing. My favorite scene from the JLA trailer was they're all standing. Commissioner Gordon throws on the bat signal, and they all come running, and they're talking, and I think Commissioner Gordon asks like how many of them there are, and he's like, not enough. Batman's like, not enough.
Yes.
And then they poof. He turns it around, and everybody's gone except for the Flash.
I know. And
he's looking around, and he's like, "Oh wow, they really did disappear. Yeah. Disappear on us. That's pretty rude." And then he zips out of there.
And then he zips out. That's awesome.
It seems like they're really playing well with his character and the just the funny little one-liners that come with Flash and Flash comics. I know Jack's a huge Flash fan, so he may chime in on this, but the Flash is known for his mouth as well as his speed. So It's kind of cool to see that in the trailer, to see a little bit of that.
And his metabolism. The fact that
he's always hungry. Big Belly Burger. Big Belly Burger shout out.
A snappy, updated dialogue is because Whedon took over.
Oh,
maybe it's possible.
Hard to tell though if that came from him or if that was already there.
I know he did do some reshoots, so it's. We'll have to see if there's a distinct style that you can tell, what was reshot and what wasn't reshot.
Not if the editing is good, but yeah.
Yeah. I also go ahead, Igor. Now that you're back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. I'm just going to be watching JLA for the obvious reasons, and because I'm going to be watching like a hawk for scenes like we saw in the most recent trailers, where we actually got shots of the mascara. And of course, it's still very sunny and has these pristine beaches and vibrant green. And then we go right back to, all due respect to Zack Snyder, and because he can compose a beautiful shot, but good Lord, the gray and white and black DC world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to be watching the trailers, in any new trailers, and especially the movie, because I have this theory that I have nothing to base on, just hope. But I have this theory because they keep building up the assembly of the heroes. This world has never really had the heroes until just recently, and they keep building that up, and not even more so than their appearances, or at least as much as their appearances. So I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, where they're intending to go with this, so they're going true, okay, let's beat Marvel Cinematic Universe at their own game. Once the superheroes are assembled and accepted by the world, then all of a sudden, no color muting, bright lights, etc. after this movie. I would be sold on every damn movie if they were actually written by monkeys at typewriters thereafter. If they do that, I would be.
Tim Burton, Batman Forever.
Oh no!
No!
Maybe
no!
Yes, I went there.
All due respect to Joel Schumacher, and no.
No. Please,
can we just
God, no.
can we keep Superman dead, and then I'll watch every DC movie ever made.
Oh.
No,
Yeah,
Shots fired.
yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't think.
Hey, if you are disrespecting Christopher Reeve, fight me.
Shots fired.
Not Christopher Reeve, but Superman. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Which is
I'll
funny.
take that.
There was a story from I don't know
Grant Morrison?
I think Mest told the story. There was a story from Comic-Con. Maybe it's something I read this week, but they were doing the whole JLA trailers and stuff, and they were doing the question and answer, and this kid got up and asked the question, "Where's Superman?" And the response was, "Superman's dead, kid. Sorry to tell you, Superman's dead." Kid.
Yeah, that was Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
Wes said.
Jason Momoa said that. Yeah.
And then Wes said that Gal tried to, smooth it over like, oh, well, if you like Superman, then you're going to love the JLA, like.
If you like Superman, you've got plenty of previous movies to watch. They weren't all good.
Right. They were not good, but
Superman's a terrible character. Jack and I used to argue with the kids.
Although Beth says Superman's not dead, that's his foot in Themyscira. I don't know how to say the Amazon land, but so
I was
Beth
making
says
up the pronunciation too.
foot. Themyscira.
the mascara.
That mascara.
That mascara. Yeah.
So that's a possibility. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, he's gonna come back. So there's spoiler alert. People.
The mascara.
Thank you. Themyscira.
Thank you.
Yeah, he is gonna come back, and that's kind of the funny part of the Jason Momoa comment is he's saying like Superman's dead, but obviously anybody that knows anything about JLA knows that Superman's there. So
Or
Exactly.
superheroes.
or that knows Superman comics that he never stays dead for too long.
Yeah.
He's basically Dean Winchester.
But that does segue into the other,
well, and they just retcon him whenever they want because it's Superman.
right.
And the writers are lazy. Sorry. Oh, we're doing a show here. Sorry.
Right. I was going to say that segues into the other, I guess you could say, heroes band together with Marvel and the Defenders trailer that they released again at Comic-Con, which was awesome. Oh my God. I mean, the best line though was just when they're standing there in the elevator. I don't even remember what happened. He goes, "Man, I'm so glad we all met you guys." And I think it was Daredevil that was talking, and Luke looks over and he's like, "I'm not going to hug you." It's not going to happen.
Iron Fist that said that.
Iron Fist? Okay, I couldn't tell because they were both wearing stupid things on their heads. So
he's I think he's supposed to be the comic relief of that group.
Well, he
because you have
definitely
Luke Cage super serious, Jessica Jones super serious, Daredevil super serious, and then you have this.
You have to have some comic relief, and if you're not going to get it, because each show has their own comic relief. But I don't know how much Foggy you're gonna get, or I don't know how much. I can't recall who was the comic relief in Jessica Jones, but actually I don't know if Jessica Jones really had much comic relief, to be honest.
It was not a very funny show.
It was pretty dark from start to finish.
There was some dark humor.
Dark humor, but no lighthearted, comedic moments really.
I think Luke Cage was the comic relief in that one, actually.
Which is kind of weird.
Because he had some funny moments in that show.
So.
I'm not looking forward to a whole season full of Iron Fist referring to, what was it, J-Dog, the lawyer? We get it. The kid's need. He was gone for a long time. But come on, he can't be that much of an idiot all the time.
Well, I think fans are still mad at the casting, too. So I'm not going to go too far down that road, of course. But and I think that's probably why it didn't get the reception it did either. I mean,
I would have to say Jessica Jones, the comic relief was Tenet, which is terrifying.
That's what I said.
That's why we meant dark comedy. Yes.
Because he did have. He did make a lot of jokes. He was very much
great jokes, but they were very dark. They were not happy.
They were terrifying. When he dropped them, it was like. I was scared to laugh at that because that guy's psychotic.
So
just remember, binge watch Jessica Jones and then DuckTales.
So here's an interesting question for everybody, because everybody's seen both Jessica Jones and obviously Doctor Who. What do you think character portrayal he did better, the Doctor or Kilgrave?
Well, both were so different because you could even throw Broadchurch in there. That man can do anything.
As long as he's wearing a suit, he can do it.
As long as he's wearing a suit, he can do anything.
He is by far the best Doctor, in my opinion, period. End of story. He's my favorite Doctor, and will continue to be my favorite Doctor. So, therefore, yeah, that's why I would say Doctor Who, Tennant, that was his best role.
Just recently.
But Kilgrave was awesome.
Kilgrave was amazing.
Kilgrave was amazing. He made you
get back here, Jessica.
He was so good in that role that he made you. I had to binge watch Doctor Who after watching Jessica Jones just to remember that he wasn't that psycho crazy.
He's a good guy.
Exactly. Like, okay, yeah, that's right. He was. This just was.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Demon's Run. That episode made you think maybe he was that psychotic. Maybe. As the Doctor.
The Waters of Mars.
I don't think Smith gets enough love, in my opinion. I don't think Matt Smith gets enough love.
He doesn't. Really did like him. He's very underrated because he had some amazing episodes. And yes, he draws.
He just had to follow Tennant, and that was his.
Yeah,
he was going to lose immediately because he had to follow Tennant.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Tennant did. Oh. Yes, I don't want to interrupt Ms. Beth.
Oh, she was just saying that she likes Tom Baker better because he didn't have CGI.
No, K9 was cardboard, damn it. Or plywood.
Right.
Oh, and Marley Boss said she can't look at Tennant the same after Jessica Jones. So, yeah.
I can't look you in the eye anymore.
But it was that good. But he showed a little bit of that darkness that he could play in I want to say the Waters of Mars. Where he showed that, at the end when he made the decision to save Captain Adelaide and alter history, he could have gone down the road of the Master in that episode. And then when she committed suicide and he saw what happened and what he changed, it was a turning point for his Doctor to not go down the road of the Master and, be the controlling Time Lord and pick who chooses and who to live or die, essentially.
Yeah. No, that's a good point too. I think he was a good transition. I mean, it was going to be hard to bring anybody to follow in the footsteps of David Tennant. So I think no matter who you put in that role, it was going to be very, very difficult to follow. And I think I think by the end of watching his arc, I was like, man, this guy, he nailed it to me. I think he did. I think Matt Smith did a phenomenal job, and he just doesn't get his.
I mean, he still had some of my favorite episodes.
What was that, Zorro? Sorry, go ahead.
It certainly helped that he had the pawns to play off for the first 3 years of that. That was a fantastic grouping.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too. Is having the pawns definitely helped him out.
And I love that we refer to them as the pawns. What was Rory's last name?
Williams.
Yeah. But no, they made it that point in the episode because he's like, "Thank you, Mr. Pond," and he goes, "No, it's Mrs. Williams," and he's like, "No, it's not. You're Mr. Pond."
You know who wears the pants in this relationship.
And then he knew it too. You saw him go to protest, and then he was just like, "Yeah, you're right. it's the Ponds."
There's another companion that's very underrated, by the way. Rory is very, very underrated.
He was, no disrespect to Mickey, but he was much better as the male in the TARDIS than Mickey Smith was.
The guy literally waited over 2,000 freaking years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the woman he loves. All right. That dude he's the man, dude. He is the man. Love it. The Last Centurion.
Mm-hmm. What other trailers we got?
Yeah. That we dialogued off.
There's all the CW trailers minus Supernatural. Eat my short, Supernatural, for not debuting your season 13 trailer at Comic-Con like you always do. You can eat a pickle, as far as I'm concerned, and also for withholding the gag reel from Comic-Con as well for season 12. So you can eat two pickles.
What did they actually do then?
They basically pissed a lot of people off. That's what they did.
They followed up with season 12 with continuing to piss off fans.
They had some fun. They were cracking jokes, but they vastly undelivered from what was promised. I mean, they were promising epic, and they were like, we're going to drop spoilers for season 13, and we're going to give you news that's going to make your skin tingle and blah blah blah. And all they did was have Kansas come out live and sing "Carry On My Wayward Son." That was it.
Did they do a question and
Which is
answer?
awesome.
No, they did no question and answer. That
doesn't surprise me though.
They had a few questions that were answered, but it was nothing like they normally do. I mean, their panels at Comic-Con are epic, and everyone just said it was a big steaming pile of donkey crap.
Do you think they were afraid of the backlash from what we saw from the end of season 12?
They would not allow any questions. The moderators told people coming up they were not allowed to ask any questions about Eileen's death, the writing, anything basically from that episode. There's something about Mary. Andrew Dabb and Robert Singer were not taking any questions about those at all. Because they didn't want to go through what Jeremy Carver went through after the episode where he killed Charlie, where fans just roasted him for that decision. So
I can understand why. Well, I mean, I think they owed it to the fans to do it, but at the same time, I can understand why they didn't want to go down that road, because they would have gotten just annihilated.
I saw a video of their post-season 11 Comic-Con panel where somebody asked a fan about Charlie dying, and when the camera cut back to them, they're all f***ing away from the audience. Like,
well, you could see the rest of the cast just like, here you go, answer your question, because the whole cast was against that decision. The writer of the character was against that decision. They had, Felicia Day was against the decision, or if she was like, if you're going to do it, can you at least write it better? Because
green, maybe.
Yeah, because they went to Felicia after that when she was doing a panel, I think for the Guild or something, and they asked her, and she just went off on like a 15-minute tirade about how crappy the writing was, what a disservice it was to her as an actress, as to her fans.
Why is that person still working on that show?
The writing duo, one of them is married to the executive producer, Robert Singer, because Kripke fired them back in season 1, and they weren't brought back until Kripke left in season 5, because he didn't want them on the show. They wrote an episode in season 1, and he was just like, nope, you're done,
Yeah, we could go on about this one, because
so they had the
CW
Flash.
trailers.
The Flash looked awesome.
Yeah,
Caitlin Snow looks like she's back.
Yep, and we know that very, very quickly. It looks like pretty early on in the season they're going to figure out a way to get Barry back. We saw Cisco with some kind of he had changed the Speed Force cannon, and seems like he's modified it to be able to pull Barry and to locate Barry within the Speed Force and then pull him out,
but without damaging the balance somehow. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but we didn't get the science behind it yet.
Super genius.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
But we do know that there's a time lapse of some. I want to say it's about 6 to 8 months. It looked like Caitlin looked normal. She didn't have the crazy hair. She, so we don't know if that's Caitlin or if it's Caitlin from another universe, or it's crazy that you can watch a show and say that.
Yeah, well, you never know with Flash. It could be Earth 23, Caitlin, but you never know. And we
did not see, at least I don't think I saw, we didn't see any
Tom Cavanaugh. I didn't see him at all. I think that's where you're going, right?
Yeah, that's where I was going. No, I didn't see any. So they may be dropping that spoiler later. Because they're going to pull another one, or they're going to go back to Earth 2 and use
because Harrison Wells from Earth 2 had said he was going to stick around and he was going to look after the team and help out, but he's also got he's got Jesse to worry about. And is Jesse Quick going to stick around on Earth 1, or is she going to go back to Earth 2 and be Earth 2 Flash protector, which is what her role is there? And then obviously Wally's going to stick around. We saw him. Actually, we saw both of them in the trailer.
We did, yeah.
So, but how long is that going to last? Yeah.
Exactly. Saw Joe. So basically saw everyone but HR.
I'm going to nerd rant for a moment, because the other trailer was the Arrow season 6 trailer, which did anybody else see that one?
I did.
Yeah, not impressed.
That was
not.
I mean, I liked that we saw, okay, there's a few people alive. I mean, obviously they dropped that Slade Wilson's alive.
Yeah.
He was walking down a street. Black Canary, the one whose name, what is she, Black Siren?
Black Siren from Earth 2.
Was alive. And I think that was it.
That was all you know so far.
That was it so far.
The only thing
we have to assume
William,
that more
of course,
people
is alive, but they're going to get that daddy dynamic between Eric and Oliver. Not Eric, William and Oliver. Sorry.
Yeah. So you have to wonder then, does that mean that his mom died? Do you think that she's one of the casualties?
I do. But
yeah,
you don't know. That island blew up, and who knows who made it and who didn't make it.
Yeah, exactly.
We did get an extended scene from the finale that was not in the finale, which is showing them what looks like them getting away from the island, but how long it's going to take for them to kind of reappear into that scene. It's going to be it's a 23 episode season, so it could very easily be 5, 6, 7 episodes before we even see any resolution to who's alive, who's not alive. And it looks like Oliver and Black Siren are going to be teaming up from what it looks like. But beyond that, that's all you get. And I don't blame them, because they leave the show on such a cliffhanger as they did with season 5.
They don't want to have to be vague. They don't want to spoil it all.
Don't give me a 4.5 minute trailer, okay, saying that's your season 6 trailer, and then all you give me is a recap of season 5. No, like, that's not good enough. Just give me the 30 seconds of season 6 if that's what you want to call it. But don't call it this like sneak peek into season 6 and then just give me a whole rehash of season 5. No, I don't need that. That's a waste of my 5 minutes. Okay, I watched all 23 episodes twice.
There was
There's my rant. Sorry,
I could have done that better. I sat in Hall H for the preview of Lost season 4, and Lost season 4. There was so much stuff they couldn't actually tell you, but man, did they make it intriguing anyway. They showed you just enough that you were like, I need to know what that means. They could have done better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to watch,
Oh, yeah, of course.
But yeah, they could have, I don't know. That was just so weird when they're like sitting on the bed and he's like, where do you think the bad man is? And he's like, right there. And I'm like, what is that? Like, I mean, like,
that's a terrible cliffhanger.
It was
terrible.
Well, that's the whole William calling his dad the bad guy. Which when you think about it, Prometheus apparently is still 10 steps ahead, because he that's what he wanted. He wanted Oliver to lose everything, and he wanted Oliver's son to hate him. And it looks like that's where we're going with this. Strangely enough.
But then again, I hope to God that's not the whole season. I do not need a whole season of father-son angst on this show.
We've had enough family angst.
Family angst. I mean, I could take a little bit here and there, but if it's just him angsting all season on whether or not his son hates him or not, like, that is going to get old.
We had that for 5 seasons of whether or not his dad hated him and whether or not he was fulfilling daddy,
Yes. We blew up the island. We blew up the daddy issues. Don't give us more daddy issues,
Now, maybe, just maybe, again, this is Igor basing this on nothing other than A, it would really fit in context, and B, wouldn't it be wonderful? But maybe 6 seasons, we've had almost nothing but the character arcs, the interpersonal turmoil, and the evil strategists, brilliant masterminds, and master fighters, etc. Maybe, just maybe, toward the end, especially if they do it, I wouldn't be surprised if it weren't at the very end. We just see this image of this giant shambling figure of a man in crappy clothing with white hair and almost white skin going, ugh. Because wouldn't that be a great way to balance it out at this point, especially when it's like, oh, my life is hell, and the interpersonal relationships, and oh, by the way, here's just this juggernaut that's going to kill everyone, just a raw physical power. Solomon Grundy, for anybody who didn't know what reference I was making.
I don't, it would be interesting.
That would be a great way. That would be a great way to balance that out, and counterpoint to their own plot line.
What would be interesting though is you have Gotham And Gotham introduced at the very end of last season Solomon Grundy. You find out one of the main characters. I don't know if it's spoiling it anymore. Probably isn't, but you find out that one of these characters that's been around for the first however many 3 seasons is actually his original name is Solomon Grundy. So you find out that that's who that character is. And
was he born on a Monday?
I don't know, right? Yeah. Well, he did die, almost die in this episode. So he's obviously going to come back as Solomon Grundy. So that's interesting that you have Fox doing Gotham and going down that road. And now, like you said, there's that possibility of could Arrow go down that road as well. It's a Batman rogue gallery type character, but man, I mean,
Arrow faced him in Kevin Smith's run.
Yeah,
it was pretty darn good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you mean this one right here?
Yeah, it looked an awful lot like that.
Right yeah. He did. So that would be an interesting way to go. Our media right now is just, to me, it's oversaturated with zombies right now, and
Right.
do we really need to continue down those roads with
Well,
The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and
Yeah.
iZombie and
That's iZombie I like because it's a switch from the zombie,
it's
lore.
a totally different zombie lore.
But that's a good segue into what the Big Papa Matt was talking about in the chat channel,
Oh
which
yeah,
was
and shout
Kirkman.
out to the Epic Beard, by the way.
Yeah, but Kirkman brought up, I think it was at Comic-Con, and Big Papa can correct me if I'm wrong, he was saying that he's not ending the series, but he is going to start wrapping up the comic of The Walking Dead and give that a push towards the end, which I think is good because I think the series needs to start wrapping up soon, or at least pushing towards a finale, because right now it's just existing and they're not working towards a conclusion, which I think that they need to find some sort of resolution, whether it's the virus cure or you find out what the hell caused the virus or something, because
neither one of those things is going to happen.
Well, then I've already stopped watching. So, I mean, if they want to bring me back, they got to bring me, because I gave Negan a shot and I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but he can't keep me in it. It's not happening. I'm bored. I don't want to see them battling humans and the zombies are an afterthought. I want to,
Isn't that kind of the whole point of the series, though?
Yeah, and it's boring. Yeah, I'm over it. Yeah. So that's me with The Walking Dead right now. I'm just over it.
Hey, Jack. How are you doing?
I just, because I was busy at work all day today, I just want to watch the Flash trailer.
Nice.
Thoughts
from Jack.
Well,
deep thoughts with Jack Malice.
Deep thoughts with Jack Malice. I'm going to get a little titanium white and make a happy little tree and cloud. No, anyways. Anyway,
that would be.
I read a lot of. Yeah, Bob Ross. Thank you. I read a lot of articles that made me very, very scared for this next season, where they were talking about bringing the CW show, which I truly love, closer into line with the Flash Rebirth series that's going on right now in comics. And I was upset, angry, and pissed off by the possibility that they were going to do that, because I don't want to see Barry Allen as the Black Flash. Don't want to see it. And that's one of the big title points of this last series in Rebirth. Anybody that follows it, it's one of the things. I watched that episode, or that little trailer, and I was sitting there scratching my head going, what the hell did they do to Iris? And I like the bad hombre slide in there from Cisco. Other than that, you didn't really get much out of it.
Yeah, the bad hombre.
Yeah. I enjoyed Cisco basically throwing that little punch out there. But I was a little disappointed that they kind of are playing Iris up to the point where she's like, Barry's not coming back. Yeah, he is. And Iris would never, ever, ever, ever not think that he was coming back. I'm just saying.
Oh,
well, maybe
yeah, with the
it's
line
how
that
she
she gives
copes,
to Joe. Yeah, and I
just
think
be how she copes, you know,
that-
like you
you're
can
right,
always
Super.
think that maybe he's coming back, but you have to think, because if you
She-
don't think that, you're not going to live. You know what I
She
mean?
follows it up immediately with the line about needing to be strong and needing to keep running.
Yeah.
So I think you're onto something. That's just the mentality that she's trying to hold on to, is like the always moving forward, always running, always moving forward, and not pondering about that. But I love that, at least from what we see in the trailers, that Cisco is the one, it seems like, and he's been the heart of the team that is really pushing to say, like, we need to find a way to get Barry back. I miss my friend. And we see him stepping up in a huge way to kind of lead that charge of getting Barry back, while Iris, it seems like, is leading the charge of keeping the team on task with actually fighting crime and going down that road. So
and to go completely meta with it, like you said, Mr. Jack, there's the rumors of putting things in line with DC Rebirth, and well, we'd find out how that goes when it gets there. But up until now and through right now, super consistent writing.
Oh yeah,
and really creative with it. Do any of you know who Cisco was in the comics before the TV show actually made him good?
Oh yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, he was a vibe. He was a Mexican member. It was a Mexican member of the Justice League who could make earthquakes, and that was basically his entire existence. Hi, I'm Mexican, I'm young, and I make earthquakes. He's so much better in the show, thanks to the writing that we've had to date. So I would say, don't worry yet. Maybe in the future, yes.
Well, that's
but
one of the things I was worried about. I didn't want them to throw away all that great history of good writing and try to drop in a storyline that I think was very poorly conceived and very poorly written in the comics by itself, combining the Black Runner and the Black Flash and making Barry both of them at the same time, and the incarnation of death. Anyways, that was my little rant.
Yeah. Hey, shout out in the chat channel. They were talking about that Mest is at a Matchbox 20 concert. And so there's that connection to iZombie with Rob Thomas, if you remember from season 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
He gets killed and his brains eaten. That's fun. So I think we have 2 more trailers we want to talk about real quick, and then we're going to wrap it, because we don't have to talk about a new nerd fight, because the these 2 ones out there.
But I think the one I'm more excited about out of the 2 is Blade Runner.
Yes.
I think I'm the only one that's on the panel right now that actually did the experience since Mest is at Comic-Con. Oh dear God, it was amazing. It was, I mean, they had everything set up. They had the actors coming out, and they had the police that were escorting people off, that were raising a ruckus. They had an udon. We had shots of stuff that kids shouldn't be drinking, and it was amazing. I mean, there were posters. They did the VR, and they showed us the trailer, and I mean, it just looks amazing. I'm so excited for it.
They even used the music. They did more just almost entirely synth music, and I'm sitting there listening to that and thinking.
I mean, we got to scan. They did a scan of our faces and told us if we were human or revenant. I was a human. Nudie Rudy was a revenant, and they literally put him up a wall. They did a frisk search of him. They told him that he had to do these things in a certain order. They were going to X him out.
Replicant.
They told him that he wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom in public, and he was just like, it's like they know me or something. It's like, but it was
somebody frisked Nudie Rudy.
Yes, they totally, because he came up as a replicant, so they were searching him for weapons, and I mean, it was hilarious. It was so much fun. So
yeah, that trailer looks amazing. I've been seeing. What was that, Zorro?
So much Jared Leto in that trailer.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, but he
probably campaigned for more shots.
Right after anyway, I think it's going to be a fun movie with him in it. I'll just say that. I'm not a huge fan of his, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a good role for him playing that sinister. Is he human or not? I don't know. Spoilers. It looks good though. It looks so good, and it's making me. I keep saying it like every single time I talk about Blade Runner, but I need to go and watch the old one again because it's been far too long since I've watched the original. So that'll probably be something I'll do this weekend, actually. Once I'm done catching up on Game of Thrones. But any other thoughts?
Not on Blade Runner, just excited.
Okay. What else? We wanted to talk about Bright, I think.
Oh yeah.
I liked what Super Hoovian said about it earlier. She said Alien Nation meets Harry Potter meets Bad Boys.
Oh my God, that's totally. I mean, seriously,
what
it's
you
like
said.
Harry Potter and Alien Nation got together and made a Bad Boys baby.
I was
so
going
weird.
A little more End of Watch meets anything Luc Besson.
Well, I would have gone Shadowrun minus the future tech, plus Will Smith,
plus a magic. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Big Papa Matt said that Leto will do well as an emotionless a-hole. And then he says a waste like tears in a rainstorm. Oh my gosh. People, if you're watching this after the fact, you need to be here live to be in the chat to have these conversations. The chat room is its own like monster. And it is amazing,
special
amazing.
place.
It's its own special kind of special. So much good stuff going on in there. Sorry, Igor, you were going to say something about Bright, I believe. Were you?
No, really nothing more to add other than it really looked like Shadowrun to me, only literally just minus the future tech. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I love Shadowrun.
Another good comparison, though. That's yeah, it looks good. It looks good. What else? What other trailers did we have, or did we want to talk about? We had the Aquaman came out. Have they released that though on YouTube yet? The actual official Aquaman trailer. I don't know if they have.
Ooh, no. I don't. They've talked about a release.
Look forward
date,
to that. Yeah, look forward to that. They showed a trailer at Comic-Con, so we'll have to kind of keep your eyes out for that when it pops.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, yes.
Oh yeah.
Didn't reveal a whole lot of storyline in the trailer, but we all, mostly know what it's going to be. So I'm still very, very excited.
Man, and there are so many references like Iron Giant and Back to the Future.
I saw some people that were confused whether that was Tron Light Cycle or Bike from Akira.
I think both, actually. I've heard it both ways. So I want to say Mest said Tron Cycles, and then he said the motorcycle from Akira. So I think in Mest's recap he said both. There was a couple other. I'm trying.
DeLorean, Ecto-1.
Yeah, the Ecto. Yeah, tons and tons and tons of pop culture references. In just that one short clip.
I'm always worried when a majority of the story is going to be in CW, or in CG. Like,
yeah,
it's hard.
But what they showed so far doesn't look bad.
It's going to be like 30% real life, 70% CG. So
yeah, unless it's a Toy Story. Yeah.
The director again,
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Yeah. The chat. Yeah, I'm not going to mention what Big Papa Matt just said on the chat channel, but he's excited for it. We'll just say that he's excited. And he says Iron Giant was announced to be a big part of the film. So that's super cool. Everything they showed from that VR world looks good to me. And I know it's going to be really heavy on the CGI, and that's your concern, but I think it looks good so far. It looks like they're going to pull it off, and that's.
I hope so.
I do too. And maybe the fact that it's going to be like 70% CGI, maybe that's going to actually help in that you're not going to notice that it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost better that they go full on rather than just doing a little, they just go all out. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Cause I think, does anybody know how well Valerian has been doing? That looks terrible. And
I don't know.
Well, that's the thing though. It looks great.
Yeah, but it also looked like it was going to be a terrible movie. Like the graphics looked fantastic. The story didn't seem to have anything, at least from what I saw.
Yeah.
So the mixture of live action and CG is what worries me in most films. So, like Beacon's saying, hopefully just that all those sections being completely CG, hopefully it just all works out.
Yeah. Yeah, and the chat channel is a little bit back and forth on it. I know Marley Boss said that she's going to give it a shot, hoping that it's better than the book. But like I said, I have faith in Spielberg that he's going to pull this one off. And I'm nerding out over all the references. That's what got me in the trailer, was just like nostalgia, like overload.
As long as they have Rush and War Games and all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they did. I think they have the Tom Sawyer bumping in the background of the trailer for sure.
I don't know how much time we have left, but speaking of excellent music and trailers, Stranger Things 2.
Oh yes, we need to talk Stranger Things 2, then we'll wrap. But
that trailer was great.
Dude.
Looks so good. Yeah, 11's back.
Yeah, of course.
She came in. I mean, we knew she was going to be back, but the fact that they actually had her in the trailer was very cool. I didn't think they were going to have her in the trailer.
And then I like that they showed a lot of clips of Will and kind of what he's going through with seeing the visions, and you can tell that there's
upside down PTSD.
Yes. Well, I don't know, it's not even PTSD, but yeah, you got that. You got some sights of what's going on with him, mixed in with everything else, and the soundtrack. Like the soundtrack of that is amazing. Like you get Thriller bumping while they're like all dressed up in their Ghostbusters outfits going for Halloween. You're just like, oh man, it's so freaking good. So good. Big Papa said, I'm so jealous of their Ghostbuster costumes. Yeah. Right jealous. There with you, Matt. Right there with you.
And he says Stranger Things 2 was the best panel at Comic-Con. I can imagine it was. I mean, I've seen, if the kids were involved, I mean, I've seen them in their interviews, when they went on Jimmy Fallon, especially, they killed it. It was so funny to watch them. Yeah, they played the game, where they tell the 2 truths and 1 lie or something like that, or they say a fact and you have to try and guess who did it. And if you guess wrong, you spray them with silly putty, the person you think it was. And of course, nobody was ever right, so they were always all the kids were just spraying the silly putty or the silly string at Jimmy Fallon, because it's Jimmy Fallon. So they're amazing. They're so funny.
Yeah, definitely. If you're behind on trailers, just go to YouTube and just type in SDCC trailers, and
there's mashups of all of them.
Yeah, just go through and watch them, because there's a lot of great ones. The Thor Ragnarok one is awesome as well. I know we don't have time to talk about all of those, but there's some awesome trailers out there from lots to look forward to. And he said every kid was on the panel, and Patton Oswalt was moderating. Good.
That's awesome.
Good. Yeah, so that's the show for tonight. We wanted to jump in and just talk about all these things that we're nerding out on and what we're anticipating coming down the road here. Shout out to this channel if you're watching it and you haven't subscribed before. Like and subscribe. Check out our SDCC 2017 playlist. It's got all kinds of videos and still more that are being uploaded from Mest, including full video of the different panels, his reactions to the panels, insights into some of the offsites. Like I know he walks through the Stranger Things offsite, the Blade Runner offsite. So lots of coverage from SDCC this year, and it's worth going through and watching those videos. You can also check out Game of Thrones recap was last night. So make sure you're checking out that and keeping up on Game of Thrones. That normally will come out every Sunday, just depending on how the week's going. And I know we had some Malice Corp activity going on at Battle Mage, which is the pub, the awesome pub that's down there it's San Diego. Is it San Marcos?
It's Vista.
Down in Vista. So fantastic pub. They do all kinds of Magic the Gathering tournaments, as well as they serve amazing beer. So make sure you're checking out them if you're in that area, as well as going to Sky High Comics. I know Sky High Comics was in a voting for best comic book store in San Diego. Mest threw out a shout out to them on one of his SDCC videos. So definitely, if you're in the area, make sure you're checking out Sky High Comics. Drop in and say hi to them. And if you're looking for something too, they will help you get it. So if you're missing something in your collection, make sure you talk to those guys and they'll help you find it. Yeah, basically in that San Marcos area for Sky High and for Battle Mage. Also, if you want to support us, besides just liking and subscribing, check out the website, malice-corp.com, for all of our various articles that are out there. Read, like, comment. You can sign up on the website there as well. If you want to contribute too, if you want to get in on this nerd family we are, by all means, sign up, register on the website, and send us an email. And we'd love to talk to you about contributing to the site and to the podcast here. Every Monday we do Preacher, so come back on Monday and check out our Preacher cast, where we will be talking about the next episode. And it has just been an epic season. It's been so much fun. It gets a little arsey.
Oh man,
that's a preacher pun. And hopefully we'll have the Big Papa Matt back as well on Monday to join us with PreacherCast. We also have our game nights, so check out all our videos about the different games that we're streaming. Let's go around and talk about where we can follow everybody, and we'll wrap this baby up. So, Igor, where can we follow you?
I will be occasionally streaming on twitch.tv as Harris_Doubledon, like double down with no W. Or if you just want to play along with me on PlayStation Network. Same exact moniker.
Excellent. And Igor, I just talked to you. So I see Zorro. Where can we follow you at?
Simply at ICZorro on Twitter or Instagram.
Awesome. I see Zorro. Not Icy, not ICEY, but I see Zorro. Super Hoovian Freak, where can we follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at SuperHoovianNut. Always lots of good stuff going on Twitter, especially today.
Yep, or you can follow her at Super Hoovian Freak on Instagram if you want to see different cat and dog videos.
yeah, that's not so much fun though. That's mostly just for my entertainment, and because I get really bored at work.
You underestimate the interwebs. Okay,
this is very true. And like I said, one of those cats does have a big following on Twitter. So.
Well, you can follow me at beacon_MaliceCorp on Twitter. You can follow this cast at MaliceCast. You can also follow the main website at MaliceCorp. If you're friends with the show, you can follow Mest at Mest_MaliceCorp. He'll be back next week as long as he doesn't get more free concert tickets. He was watching Matchbox 20 and Counting Crows tonight, so lots of fun there. Didn't have to pay a dime, so yeah, you're a jerk, Mess, if you're watching. You're a jerk.
Although apparently he didn't get to hear Mr. So.
Oh, and I get to read the Big Papa Matt shout out. So you can follow the Big Papa Matt on Twitter at the Big Papa Matt and on Instagram. If you want to follow him on Snapchat, it's Sonamaku, SONOFMAKU. And you can also follow him on Sonamaku on PSN. BattleNet, Sonamaku 1826. And you can follow at Nerd Mosh Pit for the Nerd Mosh Pit podcast. And there will be a new episode on iTunes and Stitcher coming out soon. So they finally got on iTunes. They're on Stitcher. They're 7.5 episodes in. So hopefully we get a new episode this next week. I need that Nerd Mosh Pit to get through my week. So make it happen. All right. You can follow Jack at Jack_Malice, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just making sure I got it all right. We definitely thank you and appreciate it. Again, like and subscribe. Throw some comments if you like this. You can always keep voting. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure you vote for whether or not you want us to continue the nerd fights for more than a week. So we love you all. We thank you so much for joining and for hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. We had a fun, and it did cream our cheese. So until next time, stay nerdy out there.